Hello. How are you guys doing? How is it going today on this fabulous Friday? Welcome to the very first episode of Ask Elaine the Brain. I am your host, Elaine Terso. So I am coming to you live for the very first time. Super exciting to come to you and share my pop rocks, right? And so do you want to actually hear something really funny before I start getting into questions and answers? I actually had, I love like looking at my Facebook memories, right? Every year every day I go and look at my Facebook memories, and I love to see like what I was doing last year or 10 years ago. And it's just been really fun to do that. Well, today's post, I should say, today's memory was around creating this show. I'm not even joking. Like, I have it to prove it. Like, I could show you that I was like, maybe I should start something called Ask Elaine the Brain. And 1 year later, here we are. Here we are. I know, it's very exciting. So one of the questions that was submitted that we're going to talk about today is about time blocking. And if you have a question, I would love for you to ask me in the comments, and I will do my absolute very best to answer your questions. Okay, so hopefully I will be able to see them, since, you know, technology sometimes, right? Sometimes technology is not our friend. But anyways, so time blocking. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes there's just not enough time to do everything that you want to do. Anyone else feel that way? What if you actually had the amount of time that we're all given the same amount of time, right? But what if the amount of time you were given was the exact amount of time that you needed? But in our minds, we think, I need more time, I need more time, I need more time. Is it really that you need more time, or is it that you need to prioritize your time and be a little bit more intentional about how you spend your time? So I came into this technique of time blocking several years ago from a fellow polka dot sister, Jackie Cox, who I attended one of her workshops, and we were talking about time blocking, and I was absolutely blown away by how much time I was spending. I don't even know how I was able to get everything done that I was doing. I was not in control of my calendar. My calendar was in control of me. And so I had to make a change. So here's what I did. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, because you can do the same thing. So what I did was I printed out a blank Google Calendar, and I just had decided this was when I was doing photography. So a couple of years ago, I wanted to be more in control of my calendar. And so the idea was to create a dream calendar. So if I was in complete control of my calendar, what would that look like? How would I spend my days? How would I spend my weeks? How would I spend my months? Now, not only did I have photography, but I had Polka Dot Powerhouse. I may have even had at the time Seroptimist. I was involved with Seroptimist. So like, I had networking. I had, more than just photography business. I had also had a teenager that I needed to transport every day to his workouts. Like, I had all of this stuff that I had to get done every single day. But if I could have my dream calendar, what would that actually look like? So I printed out a blank Google Calendar, right? And I had decided that I wanted to spend 3 days a week doing what I called client activities. Okay. Client activities at the time could include consultations, photo shoots, editing, sales, like anything that had to do with my clients. I wanted to focus on those 3 days a week. And so I chose Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because conveniently I also needed to make sure that I could coordinate with my hair and makeup artist and make sure that I was not booking photo shoots on her off days, right? I got to be considerate. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays were my photo shoot days, client activity days. Mondays, I had designated as my admin day. I needed time to actually get work done. I needed time to do marketing, to do blog posting, to focus on my website, to, do all that other kind of stuff. I also wanted to add in education. I wanted to continue education in my life. I love to learn. And so I was going to designate 1 hour every Friday to education. Okay. I also had connections. I love to connect with people and have meetings with people. So that was also a priority for me. So here's what I did. My calendar became from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. were client activities, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. And then from 2 to 4, I could do connects. I could do, meet up with friends. I could do whatever I needed to do. I had a couple of hours every day for those activities. And then I also added in flex time. So that was time that I could choose what I wanted to work on. And I color coded all of this on Google Calendar. So I wrote it all out first. And I also put in my non-negotiables. So my non-negotiables, I put on my calendar first. One of my non-negotiables was I had to get my son to his workout. I had to be done by 4 o'clock every day in order to get my son to his workouts. That was a non-negotiable. I had polka dot powerhouse. I did prep. I had to get ready for the meetings. I had to, do all of this other kind of stuff. It's a non-negotiable, right? So I put in my non-negotiables first and I worked myself around it. Then I went through my calendar and added in appointments that I already had on my calendar. And so then what happened is that I wound up setting up in my Google Calendar items on repeat, right? So you can do that where you have, you set an appointment and you block it out and you can set it up for a repeat. That's what I did. Made it super easy. And then I used a program called youcanbook.me, which is like Calendly or other time trades and things like that. It's a free service that I found that I could use to allow people to book time on my calendar based on my availability. So it made things easy as far as how to communicate with someone. Hey, I want to meet up with you. Okay, when works good for you? And I didn't want all this back and forth. So they could go into my calendar and pick a time based on the time that I had made available because of the Google Calendar. And so that Google Calendar became the way that I managed my time. And so then I knew every day looking at my calendar what I was supposed to be working on. And the beauty of it was if I needed to do swaps, because sometimes that happened, right? Where an emergency popped up and I needed to spend time doing something else, then that's what I did. And so this became my lifeline. It became how I took back control over the time that I had and how I was spending it. Because like I said, we all get the same amount of hours every single day. But was I spending my time? Was I being useful? Was it intentional? Was I actually being productive? Because the time sucks that I found where social media is a huge time suck. And I can easily get sucked into it where I'm like, oh, I'm here to post something for my business, or I'm here for whatever. And then I'm like 20 minutes later and I'm like, well, there goes that 20 minutes. I can't get that back. Time is the one thing that once you spend it, you cannot get it back. There are no refunds. You have already spent it. You cannot get it back. So being intentional with how you spend your time in your life, in your business, in your job, all of those things, it's super important to just be intentional, to just be aware, and to know where you want to spend your time and where you don't want to spend your time. Another thing that I had started doing, and this was actually more like this year. So I retired from photography last October, and I started doing administrative tasks and things like that for other people because I love it. I'm not really doing it a lot anymore because I've, moved more into mentoring. But I will tell you that I found this app that my dear friend Paige told me about. It's called A Time Logger. And what this app allows you to do is to track your time, the time that you're spending on certain tasks. So it literally has a little emoji looking thing for everything. And I do mean everything. And you can customize it. So what I started doing was customizing how I was spending my time so that I could actually be more intentional and just be aware that I had a time clicker. And if I'm working on something for someone else, they are not paying me to be checking my Facebook while I'm supposed to be working for them. Right. So what that did was I noticed that when I did that, I shut down any outside distractions and I was focused. I was laser focused for probably the first time. And so that was a really helpful thing for me. And so that is another trick that I wanted to share with you, was this app called A Time Logger. Okay, so those are some things that I can share with you about time and how to take back your time and how to just be more intentional with your time. So it doesn't look like we have any questions coming through yet. If there are, I cannot see them. But if that is happening, if there's a question that's out there that I can't see, I promise I will answer it on our next Friday's call of Ask Elaine the Brain. I would love to invite you to join my Facebook group called Get Out of Your Own Damn Way and Get Shit Done, because I am all about accountability and productivity and helping you get out of your own damn way, because the only thing that's keeping you from success and keeping you from advancing to the next level or whatever that looks like for you is you. That's it. It's the only thing that's in your way is you. And I want to help you get over that, get over yourself, get out of your head. Let's get you into action. So I would love to have you join us in our Facebook group and just come hang out with us. And have the support that you need, get the help that you need. I do a lot of free education classes in this group and things like that. So feel free to come join us and hang out. But I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining me on our very first episode of Ask Elaine the Brain. I hope you guys all have a super fantastic Friday. Today is, oh my gosh, July 17th. Tomorrow we're having a nice little send-off party for my son. He's going to be going to college next month. I'm really sad. We'll be talking about empty nester syndrome here soon, right? So anyways, you guys have a great day. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. See you later. Bye.